Guys, so this past week we hit 1,000 subscribers, and that's literally so crazy to me. I never thought I would make it to 1,000, especially with how lazy I am with my non-existent upload schedule. I am a full-time college student, and I also work a full-time job, so let's just say that I'm perpetually kinda sleepy. Anyway, I know you guys like the roast videos and stuff, but for the 1,000 subscriber special video, I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different on top of my new avatar, which I'm sure you've already noticed. So what I'm gonna do is pull random fursonas from the ones that have been submitted to me, and I'm gonna draw them for y'all. I've never actually done a speed art paint style video, so this is definitely gonna be interesting. Now, I've checked over all of the submissions to make sure everyone was following the rules, and it looks like everyone did this time, so you all get gold stars. And let me just make a quick disclaimer that if I do draw your fursona in this video, and if I get something wrong, or if you just don't like the art I made for you, you can always pay me and I'll try harder next time. No, seriously though, I'm aware that you can't really please everyone, and I'm sure there will always be someone that will have something negative to say, and that's okay. Art is subjective after all. I think I'm just a little nervous to do this style of video because it feels just a little more vulnerable, I guess, since I don't usually show off my art too often, and it kind of just feels like a high pressure situation to make sure I don't mess up or do something wrong. At this point, I think I'm just stalling, so let's get to the non-scripted part of the video. Okay, so this is my first time trying to record something without a script. So now you get to see how much of an idiot I am, because if I don't have the words in front of me, the words don't exist. So this is kind of how we're going to do this. I'm just going to put 54 into this because that's how many submissions I got. And then we are going to just generate a random number. I think we're going to do like 5 of these. And then I'm just going to draw them. Okay, so the first one we're going to be drawing is number 9. And then the second one is 48. And the third one we're going to be drawing is number 12. And then the fourth one we're going to be drawing is number 13. And then the last one we're going to be drawing is number 40. Okay, so now that we know who we're drawing, I'm going to pass you over to the speed paint audio. So as we get into the first one, I just want to preface by saying that I am not a professional artist by any means. I've been drawing for a very long time, but how often I draw is not very. Sometimes I will literally go months at a time without ever drawing anything. Sitting down and drawing 5 fursonas in basically 2 days was actually pretty challenging for me. The first one that I'm drawing here is Vixen, and I immediately got very strong like werewolf vibes, so that's kind of what I was going with. I originally had a plan to like put like a moon in the background and stuff, but then I realized that that would be a lot of work. I actually had a lot of fun like trying to use a more dynamic pose, because I feel like a lot of the time my art tends to have really bad like stick figure syndrome, where everyone kind of just is in the same pose all the time. So I'm really happy that this is the pose that I decided to go with, because I think it actually turned out pretty well. I think the hair is probably my favorite part of this piece. I think this was a very strong start to this journey of drawing fursonas. So moving on to the next piece here, I knew this one was going to be a bit of a challenge for me because it looks like the reference sheet uses a lot of like gradients, and it's kind of hard to tell where certain colors like stop or start. So that was definitely a bit of a challenge trying to figure that out like design wise. And I also had a huge problem trying to figure out the foot in this pose, because I am trying to use more dynamic poses, so the proportions are a little off probably, and it just didn't seem natural the way that the paw was kind of hanging out back behind their bottom. but I think I made it work decently okay. The coloring process for this one was really fun, but like I said, it was a little confusing because it was kind of hard to tell where certain colors stopped and others started, so I did try to simplify it just a little bit. Now, moving on to the third fursona, I actually really enjoy the design of this one. It kind of gives me Portal vibes, like the game Portal. And sticking to the theme of using more dynamic poses, the hand gave me a lot of trouble trying to figure out where I wanted it because the reference photo that I was using didn't even include their like left arm, but I knew I wanted it in there somewhere. So I kind of was just winging that part, to be honest. But I think it looks a little funky, but also kind of cool, almost like he's charging up like a slap, like he's gonna slap someone, but he's like charging it up first, if that makes sense. Like I said, it is actually very out of the ordinary for me to try to draw something other than from like directly facing forward, you know, the stickman syndrome where they're just standing there, kind of like that one emoji. So it's interesting to try to kind of turn them to different degrees, but I recognize that as a non-professional artist, it might look a little funky when I'm trying to do it, and obviously practice makes better, so I just need to draw more, but again, that is kind of difficult to do when I have so much going on in my life pretty much all the time. But I do try to make time to draw when I can, and doing projects like this, I think, really have helped, and I feel like I improved a lot just by doing this, actually. And so this is how the final piece turned out. I actually really enjoy it, and hopefully the owner does too. So this fourth fursona did not give me a whole lot to go off of. Like, the owner did the submission and they gave me zero information about this character. All I know is that their name is Bagheera, so I kind of assumed that they were like a panther, like the one from the Jungle Book, so that's kind of what I went off of. The shape I did for the body was a little bit inspired by Glamrock Freddy because I wanted to do a little bit of a change of style. So I think that turned out actually pretty well, even though I don't know if it like matches this character's personality because like I said, I wasn't given a whole lot of information. So hopefully everything I did was okay. I took some creative liberties because I wasn't entirely sure if the circles were supposed to be circles or if they were supposed to be like half circles. It was kind of hard to tell based on the image that I got, so I just did my best with that, as well as with the like glowing feature because it kind of looked like they were meant to be glowing. I did my best. I've never really done anything glowing before, so hopefully it looks okay to you. So I'm not gonna lie, this one is definitely my favorite design-wise. I love that it says that he's like a trucker and he's gross and whatever. I don't know why it made me laugh really hard when I was looking over the reference sheet. It took me forever, by the way, to figure out what I was doing with this leg. I just keep on changing the leg over and over again because nothing looked right, and eventually I just kind of like kicked his leg out and I was like, okay, that'll work. This character gives me the vibe of my dad for some reason. Like, he just gives me dad vibes, like the dad who goes fishing on the weekends and he's just like, you know, one of the rough and gruff like hunter men, and I kind of love that for him. I originally had him sitting on just like a normal like wooden chair, but I decided to give him one of those like kind of gross fluffy recliner chairs from like the early 90s because that also reminded me of my dad a little bit. So I just thought it fit the theme really well here, and coloring it was really fun. I had a lot of fun coloring this piece, and I loved the design so much that it, I think, also made it a lot more enjoyable to me, even though I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely running out of steam towards the end of this project because doing 5 pieces like this back to back over the span of 2 days is kind of a lot. But yeah, here's how the piece turned out, and I really enjoy it, and I really hope you enjoy it. And with that, thank you guys again so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all of the support that I've been getting from you guys, and I really hope that you'll continue to support me as I try some new things on the channel in the near future. I know I've said before that I am a little burnt out on the Fursona roasts, which is true, but I know you guys also really enjoy them, so I will continue to do the Fursona roasts, but I do also want to sprinkle in some other things that I probably enjoy more alongside those. And as always, if you guys have any ideas ever for any kind of video, just leave me a comment and let me know what that is, and I will definitely look into it. I have quite a few ideas of my own, so don't worry, the content won't stop, hopefully, as long as I don't get burnt out. If I did end up drawing your fursona in this video and you want a copy of the art rather than just taking a screenshot, message me on Instagram and I'll send it to you there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and now get on with your life and have fun.